gentlemen, I am Veos, and welcome to this short little video. I'm sorry I didn't have enough time to make another Solar Nations video this weekend. 56 hours this week. The OT is going to come in nice and handy, but I do remember someone asking me to help them with building or making a prop or inline prop or something of that nature. So let's go ahead and get started. This is of course the old prop. Well, I say old prop, but this is the prop from Inter, and he's a really great guy. You should go ahead and check his channel out. I'll go ahead and link it in the description below. But Inter developed this Inter drive basically for Solar Nations, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and show you how it started and the whole engineering behind it, as well as what it looks like today for Solar Nations. Now, when Solar Nations 160 came out, there was a little problem with the Stay Putnik drive, Jimmy Christmas, Stay Putnik probe. Unfortunately, the collision mesh, I guess they didn't add it, or they forgot to add more of it, or whatever the case may be, but it would literally, there was no collision box, there's no hit box or nothing, nothing for the computer to use to actually use it as a bearing or a ball bearing inside of a stock prop engine. So unfortunately, yeah, that was a major problem for 160. So I did not use the new 160 Stay Putnik probes for anything. They were pretty much garbage for me. However, in 161 they finally fixed that problem, so I didn't have that problem anymore. So I went ahead and now I'm starting to replace all the old Stay Putnik probes with the newer ones, and it's working wonderfully now, so yay. One thing that we have to remember is that these little guys, these little batteries right here that look like two AA's inside of a something, actually are physicsless. Therefore, they do not interact with the Kerbin world, which allows the interdrive to work a hell of a lot better than if you were to use one of these, which unfortunately does have physics. So basically, this created aerodynamic forces and drag, and these did not. Therefore, these are the ones we want to use for our engine. Now, the cool thing about these little docking clamps is that the Actus Springs. So basically, if you get them close up to the Stay Putnik, which is like a ball bearing, basically when you activate them, basically undocking them and allowing this to be its own craft inside of another craft, these will actually bounce back and forth like a spring. So it'll have tension on the ball bearing itself. So on the ball bearing, or the Stay Putnik is spinning, it basically equalizes itself spinning around. And this, the Clampotron, keeps it in a tight area but doesn't make it want to bounce out. Okay, so let's get started making our own Solar Nations interdrive. First of all, we're going to need a structural fuselage. That's going to be the core of the entire engine. You're going to be able to use this to attach it to any craft that you so please. Let's go ahead and grab a coupling device, the Docking Port Junior, which is the only coupling device we have on this Solar Nations. Make sure your angular snap is on, flip it around, attach it to the side. Do not attach it to the little green ball. We want to attach it to the side. The little green ball is for other crafts in the future when we decide to put this on here. Now, we're not going to tuck it in straight away. We're actually going to bring it out so we can see what we're building when we build it. Let's go ahead and grab a command and control a small inline reaction wheel. Now, these are going to be what's going to spin the actual prop itself. We're going to take this and we're going to go ahead and engage or rigid attachments on. If you do not see these inside your small window, you want to go into your settings and you'll see something in settings called advanced options. You want to make sure that's clicked, make sure that's on. Okay. All right. Now auto strut disabled. That's okay, because if we try to auto strut now, it's going to attach itself to the structural fuselage, which is not going to help us any when we actually need it. But we can turn on the rigid attachment for right now. Now when we actually click on auto strut, it should go to the girder segment, which is what we want. Heaviest part, girder segment. Let's do that for the rest of these guys. Good. And of course this one doesn't really have anything to attach itself to other than what we don't want it to attach it to. So ground parent part, sure, whatever. Make sure the rigid attachment is on. Rigid attachment keeps it from wobbling too much. It makes it rigid, you know what I'm saying. All right, there we go. Okay, so heaviest part, there we go. It goes straight to the girder segment. Very good, very good. Make sure it's, yes, okay, go straight to the girder segment. That's what we want. Put it on top of this one. Bring this over, click, click, click. Yes, I'm not using the keyboard to punch on these buttons. Leave me alone and deal with it. All right, there we go. Tool rotate. There we go. So it's not, you know, it's not doing that shimmer while it's actually, oh, it's shimmering. Oh no. Ooh. Okay, so I'm just gonna take that and just itsy bit, ever so gently. No, not too much, too much, too much. Ever so gently. There we go. All right, so now we need our ball bearings for this engine. We're going to go ahead and grab the stay put nicks, the ones that actually work this time. Slap that on there, hold down Alt, click it, copy it, put it on the other side. We're going to grab this piece right here and bring it away from the clampotron so that we have room for our stay put neck probe. Make sure your angular snap is on, or angular snap, toggle snap is on. Sorry, I'm talking CAD here. Anyway, let's go like this. Hold down Shift while you're doing this. And we don't want to do it like this. I mean, you can if you want, fine, whatever. But I like to try to not clip so horribly. Okay, now let's go ahead and make sure that this is put together correctly. We want the stay put neck probe to be ever so slightly just laying inside of the clampotron. Rest it on the edge of the actual clampotron itself. Doesn't have to be perfect, because remember, this part of the clampotron doesn't actually, the physics mesh doesn't actually calculate the indentation right here. It's just a straight wall. So what we're doing is we're basically pushing this. Once these are activated so that they're two separate crafts, this will actually push this back a little bit, and this will act like a spring, like we were talking about before. It'll try to keep it centered when it starts spinning. Structural fuselage. Okay, we're going to take the structural fuselage and attach it to the other one. I'm going to grab that, use our angular snap. Angular snap. Keep on saying angular snap. Toggle snap. Gosh, damn it. My training is kicking in. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're going to take this. We're going to pop it like this, just like on the other side. We're going to put in our batteries right now. Now, just for starters, you can put as many as you want in here. But just for starters, we're just going to have 8. Let's go ahead and grab anything. We can, for the interdrive itself, it was Delta Deluxe winglet that he used. So in order to grab the air really, really good, a good angle for these wings is 45 degrees. There we go. All right, so the trick is, before we put this sucker in here, we'll go to action groups, go to 1, is to undock the drive shaft so that it can become two separate parts from our craft in order for it to spin. And let's see, deactivate wheel. Yes, deactivate. You'll see what I'm going at. You'll see where I'm going at in a second. Good. Now number 2, get rid of that. Number 2 is activate. All right, now we're done. Okay, now basically what this does is it allows you to, number 1, start up the engine, and it has a slow speed to it, so you don't have to worry about it taking off. And then when you're ready, you hit number 2, which is full power, and you can just take off. Now later on, when you get more detailed and advanced, you can figure out basically a landing speed. So when you want to land the craft, you can go ahead and go to action groups, and like number 3 action group will toggle maybe half of these off or something of that nature, which will slow down the propeller, allowing your craft to slowly fall out of the sky so you can land. Now it is time to put this bad boy in here. Don't hit shift or anything, just grab it and bring it on down so that it's right dead in the middle. There we go, just like I like it. Okay, hold down shift for this part. Ever so slight for it. Let's see if that is okay. That works. Okay, take off your toggle snap, hold down shift for this, and like I said before, just bring it in so that the stay put nick is right against that rim there. All right, so if you follow directions so far, you already have a working mechanism. However, in order to keep it working for longer durations of flight, we want some power. And in Solar Nations, we do have these small little solar panels. All right, so basically what you want to do is you want to attach these bad boys to the drive shaft itself. Hold down R for radio symmetry, just like that. Then hold down your move tool. And of course, you know what to do next is to bring it outside of the fuselage. Okay, so basically this will spin in tandem with the drive itself, allowing it to have a little bit more flight time because it's going to be energizing itself as it's flying during the daylight. Let's go ahead and hit number 1 key, which undocks all this and turns off most of the reaction wheels. Already looking good. Let's hit E and Q. And it's working. Oh, it's working. These fins, actually, the AVT1, well, for Solar Nations technology, do a hell of a lot better. They're a lot lighter and they produce more lift. So definitely maybe use these instead of the winglets. I added these little guys, the inline, the place anywhere linear RCS ports, because the fact that I found out that during flight, it would become very unstable if you were to make sharp turns. So these are an effort to try to counter those wobbling effects during sharp turns. All right, 95 torque, RP29. The blades are backwards to kind of make it look more like an actual propeller. But of course it has the place anywhere linear RCS ports, which is really nice. And the secondary right here, the advanced inline stabilizer, which I put directly in the middle to give it just a little bit more oomph. Solar panels that are on the outside. It really does give it a nice, I don't know, it looks really nice. I don't know why, but it just looks really nice. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being a part of this channel. I am Veos, signing off. and have a good night.